Thank you, Ashok sir. A happy morning and a wonderful evening, masters. Welcome to Spiritual Tablets Meditation and Wisdom Sharing Session. Masters, today we have a wonderful soul who have come here to share her beautiful wisdom with us. She is none other than Dr. K. Rajalakshmi. Rajalakshmi ma'am is a doctorate in civil engineering, soil mechanics, with about 35 international and national research publications. And she's a zealous educationist also. She's intensely passionate and profoundly interested in understanding the intricacies of Indian spirituality, the knowledge, wisdom, its culture and traditions for human enlightenment. And this interest has been with her since a very, very young age. And her difficult spiritual quest to understand this wisdom and this knowledge was channeled to her after meeting her enlightened guru, Sadguru Shivanandamurti Garu. And later after that meeting, a paradigm shift happened with her from understanding soil mechanics to soul mechanics took place with her. And Dr. Rajalakshmi is happy to share here her wisdom, her limited knowledge, as she says, that she has obtained in the process of self-discovery for the benefits of all fellow sadhakas here, in her words. And thank you so much, ma'am, for giving us that time and share your beautiful wisdom with us. And whenever you're ready, ma'am, please you can start, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Ravali. I hope I'm audible. Yeah, is that?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was such a warm welcome here. Thank you so much. And on the first hand, my heartfelt pranams to everyone present here on this online platform. Thanks to Spiritual Tablets for having me here. Ashok, thank you for inviting me on this platform. And shall I go ahead with the presentation? Can I go ahead?
Yeah, please.
Thank you, Ashok. Thank you so much. Before I just start my talk, I would like to offer my salutations to my spiritual guru, Sadguru Shivanandamurti Garu, who's instrumental in bringing me here today and making me a part of this program. Thank you, Guru Garu, for making me whatever I am. And indeed, this fear is such a vast topic. Ashok, you're smart enough for having selected this one. It needs a lot of coverage, actually. Okay, let me start with, I'm not going to touch upon the medical aspects of it because I'm a layman here with respect to the medical aspects. So, fear. It is overcharged with negativity. That's what I feel. We have many words full of energy, some with very high energy, some low energy words. I feel that fear is one of the very low energy words because it seems we vibrate with about less than 100 hertz when we talk about fear itself. Right now, I think I'm vibrating at a very low energy, but still, I'll try to ward it off and go ahead. I would like to think of Tesla, who says, if you want to understand the universe, you either think in terms of energy, frequency, or waves, he says. Universe. When we talk about the universe, there again, the picture that comes onto our mind is the macrocosm. The macrocosm, that which we can see outside, is the macrocosm. That is the large universe, which can be seen by the physical eyes. And again, there is a macrocosm, there is a microcosm, which is nothing but it is our own body. This clarity, I got it only about 2 years back. How it looks like exactly. And what is the relation between the macrocosm and microcosm? It's very relevant. That is why I've started it here. I've been to the middle reaches of the Himalayas. There is a very small temple called Pushti Amma. In that Mahamrutyunjay mantra, it comes. Trayambakam yajamahe sugandhim pushti vardhanam. Pushti is nothing but she is the mother of nourishment. She nourishes us. I just sat there in meditation, and suddenly I could see the whole universe in my body. The whole universe in my body. It was a revelation, actually. Until then, my body for myself was a bundle of chakras or some energy centers, things like that. It was all theory. It was all theory for me. And it was like, startling revelation when I could see the whole universe in myself. They say that the solar system is at the center of the Brahmanda. Brahmanda is nothing but the cosmic egg, which has, you see, there is a huge universe, but the whole universe does not have impact on us. There is a limited space which has impact on our body. That limited space is in the form of an egg, which we call it as the cosmic egg or Brahmanda. That Brahmanda has the solar system at the mid-level. There are 7 lokas on the top, the upper regions, and 7 lokas at the bottom. As they say, when they do puja, they say, Bhulokam, Om Bhuvaha, Bhulokam, Bhuvarlokam, Suvarlokam, Mahalokam, Janalokam, Tapolokam. We say that as we start the puja. Is it okay? Is it clear from my side? Once again, I'm just checking.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, it's very clear.
Thank you, thank you. So there are 7 lokas on the top and 7 lokas on the lower side. These 7 lokas represent the 7 chakras in the body, in our body. Then one might ask me, what about the 7 lower chakras? Why can't we see them? To take the human birth, we would have crossed or we would have evolved through all the lower chakras. Lower 7 chakras, we would have evolved. So we need not think about the lower chakras. The top 7 chakras, as you know, the Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddhi, Agnya. Most of the spiritual seekers would have heard about these chakras, which are nothing but the energy centers or the energy vortices inside our body. The 7th one, the crown chakra, is a state of mind. So though they call it as the crown chakra, we should compare it with, or you should understand that it represents the state of one's mind. So there, in Ma Pushti Amma's temple, I could see all the 7 astral worlds in my body. Around my navel, the whole solar system was going around. I could clearly see Jupiter, Saturn, all things so close to me. I opened my eyes, only a dog and myself were there, nothing else. I closed my eyes. Such a wonderful experience, I get excited when I talk about that, or even when I think about that. And all the astral planes were just shining so beautifully, I just couldn't open my eyes. I didn't want to open my eyes also. That is so beautiful. It is only then I just asked my spiritual guru, I would like to show you. He's my spiritual guru. Okay. Shivanandamurti garu. So he is not in his physical body. So I went to one of his first sishyas. I asked him, sir, something happened to me. I saw this. Then he said, that's wonderful, Kucho. He said, sit down. And then he said, humans are called Kshudra Brahmanda. Miniature. Kshudra is not the frightful thing we hear about. Kshudra is miniature, a small one, a representative. Okay, representative of the macrocosm. He said, you have seen the macrocosm in the microcosm, he said. So that is when the whole shift happened. Oh, this is wonderful, I thought. Because Or it's then came the question, okay, what are these chakras? If they signify the astral planes, if at all they signify the various astral planes, they say once we die, we go to heaven, hell, whatever they say. So what is heaven? So what does crossing the chakras mean? How do I cross that? Or what does each chakra signify to us? That was the next thought to me. So then again, I'm very sure that you would have gone through some sessions where they talk about Muladhara chakra, representing insecurities, fears, will not be able to get grounded. We are stuck. Where are we stuck? We are stuck in the physical body. We are stuck in the physical body. That's what has occurred to me then. So what next? The Swadhisthana, which is full of desires, pleasure seeking, things like that. Okay, when you are at the level of the Swadhisthana, to what are you attached to? You are attached to your desires, pleasures, other things. Okay, comes the next level, Manipura. Manipura is full of ego, pride, things like that. We always say, I like that, I like this, I would like to do that, I would like to do this. So it means that we are rooted in the Manipura chakra there. So that is how we have to identify where we actually belong to, where we are. Are you in the LKG? Are you in the UKG or first standard? We can decide it for ourselves, because we won't like somebody else telling us you are egoistic, right? We say, no, 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 no. I'm pretty cool. I'm not egoistic. We immediately refuse that. So we need to assess ourselves. We need to assess ourselves and relate to the plane which we belong to. Next comes Anahata, the heart chakra. You're full of compassion. You're full of love, full of empathy. It means that you're vibrating at a higher level. The heart chakra, when the heart is full of love, compassion, empathy to all beings around, then we are approximately vibrating at a frequency of 400 hertz. I think if I'm to be very accurate, it should be 439 hertz. That is pretty close to enlightenment. So we have to observe what emotions are we full of. Emotions. I said fear, less than 100 hertz. Some say it is as low as 19 hertz, whereas the human audible range is about 20 upwards. So below 20, so nobody else can hear that. Only we can hear, or we can only sense our own fears. So we are vibrating at such a low energy. So what exactly is fear? How does this, what is fear? It is an emotional response, they say. There's a response from inside. Response to what? A perceived danger, a perceived threat. It is only perceived. That might not be actually real or true. So it is a perception. It is an illusion. It is imaginary. It is not real. So where are we working? We are working in our future. We are just leaving the present moment, peek into the future, imagine that something is happening there, and create a vibration of very low frequency, or which is very low. So that is fear. So what is the response like? How do you feel when you're fearful? We sweat, we perspire, suddenly we get up from sleep. This happens to everybody. This would have happened to everybody unless we cross that. One might ask me, are you perfect? No. No. But all the time, I have been trying to overcome the stumbling blocks. overcome the stumbling blocks with the spiritual knowledge, with the help of spiritual knowledge. So how does this response look like? On the physical front, it could be perspiration, increased heart rate, or high adrenaline. There is an adrenaline rush. This rush, some people enjoy. They enjoy the fear, right? They take the roller coaster ride. Oh, they'll be shouting with joy. Is the fear different there? The fear is the same, but the experience is different. Some people cry in pain, some people shout in joy. But the biochemical response there is the same. It is the same adrenaline rush. So why is this different? What is making the experience different for different people? Anandamaya, he says in one of his songs, Telisite mokshamu, teliyakunna bandhamu in Telugu. I don't know if most of you are Telugu speaking or not. It means telisite mokshamu. When you understand that, knowing is one thing, understanding is something, application is the next step. When you understand something, it's not simple mere knowing. Knowing is liberation, he says. Knowing is liberation. Once you understand something, you are liberated. That's done. Teliyakunna bandhamu. If you don't know what it is, you get attached to it, you cling to it. So in this program, we are trying to know and understand. We are trying to analyze, explore, analyze, relate ourselves to what exactly is making us miserable or vulnerable. Then we would also explore some ways in which we could cross the blocks. We could just float through, or you can just evolve to the next level. That is what we'll be trying to do here. So this biochemical response is mostly automatic. It happens without our knowledge. Just just an jiffy it happens. Then what are the different types of fear? What do we fear mostly? They say we come here, we take this birth to fulfill 4 aspects. Chaturvidha Purushardhalu, they say. We come here to fulfill 4 areas of interest, we can say. 4 areas of interest rather. Dharma, Ardham, Kamam, Moksha. They say, Dharma. Even Dharmaraja, known for Dharma, was also craving for Dharma. He was craving to be more and more into Dharma. There is that craving there. Ardham. Ardham is materialistic. We crave for material things. So some souls, they crave for Dharma. Some souls, they crave for the material things. Some souls, they crave for pleasures. Kamam is not necessarily any desires. Some souls, even a sage is craving for moksha. There is also craving there. That is why he takes a human form. There is craving. As long as we crave and cling to a thought, we take a birth. We have to. So they say that we have to get rid of these cravings, wheresoever we may belong to. We have to get rid of them. As and when we have this body. Without a body, it is not possible to get rid of all those things. That is the purpose of having a birth here. So why am I mentioning these 4 areas? Dharmam, Artham, Kamam, Moksham. If you examine yourself, when we examine ourselves, we know where we are related to, what we are fighting with, what is that we want in our lives. We can relate to it. Just take this session, please take this session to introspect yourself and catch the virus, catch the thing which is bothering you. Okay. So What are the different types of fears? Fear for not being dharmic. The Western, they say there are many archetypes of fear archetypes. They say you look like this. There are different categories. But as per our philosophy, I would like to categorize them into 4 types. One who's fearful of not being able to stick to dharma. Again, dharma varies geographically. The dharma in the Western world is different from the dharma in the Eastern world. It varies geographically. It is different historically. When you study history, you see that at different phases, or the different phases in history, we have different dharmic stipulations. So there is a constant fight inside of not being able to conform to the dharmic principles. So there is this pull and push, both inside. That is conflict, right? Oh, if it is pull, you'll just go somewhere and land in the ocean. That's right. You don't go into the ocean. You can't stay in this body. There is that constant fight inside. That triggers fear. You see, and why is this conflict there? You see, for us, any thought which is generated inside our mind is beautiful. You see, inside, you love somebody, that is so beautiful inside. So beautiful inside. You get inside yourself, the feeling is so good. But this might not create a beautiful picture in the eyes of the society. This might be an ugly picture in the eyes of the society. So any feeling which is generated inside us is beautiful. You feel very good inside, but the society may not be. It might not create a same picture in the eyes of the society. So the same picture carries 2 faces. One is a beautiful picture, the other is an ugly picture. So we are caught between those 2. There, the fear triggers again. Fear with respect to desires and pleasure seeking. That is the second thing I was trying to talk about. Ardham, we want lots of everything, more and more and more. But they say, no, it's not good. You can't have so much. This is enough for you. This is what everybody says. Again, there is a conflict. How much should I have? How should I procure that? Maybe this procurement is not in tune with the dharmic principles. Again, internally, the internal combination. This procurement of material wealth might not be in tune with the dharmic principles. Oh, maybe this is creating a lot of desire in me. So again, that creates a fear. Again, fear of having more. Oh, I might lose this. When you have more, you have the fear of losing that. When you have less, you have the fear of not being able to acquire it. So Ashok is smart enough to get this topic, because I can talk for hours maybe on this. Yeah. And moksham. When we talk about moksham, people say, moksham, I want to go to heaven. What if I cannot go to heaven? Where is this heaven? Fear of not being able to locate where heaven is. What if I cannot go? And see, my neighbor is already in heaven, he says. Comparison. So this comparison trap. Oh, this lady had some experiences. I did not have that. So does that mean I'm not okay? This triggers a fear again. Fear of not being okay. Right? So there are quite many fears. Most of this related to ourselves. Then comes the progeny, the children. This is a big bad world. I'm doing it because I'm I'm very smart. What if my children can do that? What if they get stuck up in this bad world? What if they are hurt? This is where understanding comes into picture. We need to understand certain spiritual aspects related to our birth, rather birth and death. We need to understand both that. When I talk about death, that is another biggest fear. What if I die? What if somebody says, you don't die at all? That is so assuring, right? You don't die at all. Yeah, that is wonderful. That is where we need to tune into our spiritual masters. They give us the knowledge required. Children, a simple thing, as simple as they're not born for you, they're born through you. See how beautifully it takes away all the fear. It takes away all the fear, just like a mantra. It just erases the fear, right? They have their own journey. The very knowledge that children have their own journey. They didn't come for us. What if they don't take care of me? They didn't come for you. You have your own responsibility. They have their own journey. This knowledge will remove all the fears related to the children. Right? So, what are some other types of fears? Fear of not being able to reach or meet others' expectations. Between spouses, you see, one wants to be an ascetic, the other wants to be pleasure seeking. Here comes the conflict. Conflict, again, fear. We get into that cycle again. This is where expectations. Why is she or he like this? Why is she not like me? She should be like me. See, I'm so enlightened. I have outgrown all these things. And she's just a mess, you know. She says she wants to go out all the time. She wants to eat outside. She's really bugging me. This is where the conflict starts. Conflict continued with fear. Fear of not being able to face her again. What if she asks me to go out with? What if she asks me something and I'm not able to reach to her expectations or his expectations? So this again is related to, this finds ground in attachment. Attachment to the spouse, attachment to the child, attachment to friends, attachment to relatives. We are attached. We all the time try to please everybody, which is not literally possible. Not possible. You just get exhausted, but this is not possible because the requirements keep going up. And there again, I've been doing so much, but still I fear that I'm not able to reach to their expectations. And then attachment to wealth, fear of loss of wealth. Attached to the job. What if I don't have this job by evening? What if I get the pink slip? How do I live? How do the others depending on me live? Attachment to job, status. My friend got the promotion, I didn't get it. Attachment to recognition. If you want to be recognized. What if somebody says, it is not necessary? It is all not necessary. You will live on your merit. Each soul comes here with a merit. And that merit will help you through your journey. What if somebody says that? That fear is wiped out. Is it not? It is not everyday situations all of us face. So we have to keep educating ourselves, giving us the knowledge each and every time we come across a fear. Another bigger one is fear of abandonment. What if all these people leave me and go? I'll be alone. What if I get separated? I'll be alone again. What if? What if is in the future? It lies in the future again. It didn't happen. But you're so attached, you want it so much that you jump into the future and see this possibility as a big demon. There are many other possibilities, right? Many possibilities. Even at the verge of failure, something may kick back, something may revive again. There are 101 possibilities of an event, of a thing happening, not necessarily the one we see in our mind. And then there are many phobias, right? We all know that fear of falling down, fear of snakes. Oh, I don't like these lizards. One day, my daughter, she stays with you all in the US. She calls me and says, Amma, there is a big lizard here on the wall. I said, how big is that? She says, just like in India. I said, okay, Amma, then it's fine. I can't do anything about the lizard which is in US from India. They are all rooted fears. They're all deep rooted. We will also see where they're rooted, right? Fear of falling, fear of heights, many things, many phobias like that. So how does these fears make a person look like? How does these fears make a person look like? We ourselves do not know what fear we carry, right? We do not know. A procrastinator, these are the Western classification. I was just talking to you about the philosophical aspects. I was talking to you. The Western aspects, they say he's a procrastinator. He doesn't start at all. He doesn't start his job. He doesn't do it. He doesn't start the job. That is how we categorize him. They call the fear archetypes. Why doesn't he start his job at all? Why is he looking for the detail? He's fearful. He fears failure. He fears being pointed out. So that is one fear archetype. We can just compare and see where we fit in. It could be one or more also. Depends upon what sort of fears we hold, what blocks are preventing us from doing our job. Depends. So the first type is the procrastinator, who takes a lot of time. You give him 6 months, he says, I'm working with the detail. I need some more time to do it. So basically, he doesn't know that he fears failure. So once we categorize ourselves in a particular area or areas, we can do something about it. And this procrastinator, he's very uncomfortable with any new thing. He's not comfortable with any new thing because he doesn't know. The fear of unknown comes here. Oh, I don't know what is going to happen. So I will not, better I don't start it. Let me work for finer details and then do it. That is what he says. Then is a rule follower we find in our workplaces. Rule follower. No, I will only go this way. I'll walk this way. I'll walk this way back. No chance. If I'm asked to walk, I'll walk. I will not take a vehicle. Why is he like this? Because he's afraid. He fears authority. He fears punishment. Internally, he'll be holding on to those aspects. The people pleaser is the next aspect, next archetype. I was a people pleaser, to be very honest, in the sense, not everybody in the society, I was all the time trying to please my kith and kin, everybody around, because I want them so badly. I want them so much. I always used to, not anymore. I used to think that I was born for them. So my comfort was always not important. So What if they're not happy? I was not comfortable displeasing them, disappointing them. So all the time I hung on to, I was just clinging on to that type of behavior. I didn't know that. Until I knew that that was a repetitive behavior from my side. So why is that? That was a fear of rejection. I didn't want to be rejected. I didn't want to be criticized. I didn't. Is it okay? Are you getting my voice, Dr. Ravali?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we get it.
Thank you, thank you. So I didn't want to lose control over the situations. I want to be in absolute control. So as long as I please them, they will be in my control. Was my thought deep inside. So that is what a people pleaser is. So I wanted to have absolute control on everybody. At home, not outside. At home, that was my typical behavior. And then the outcast, fear of being ridiculed, fear of being criticized, again, fear of being rejected. We find these behaviors mostly in women. They reject for fear of rejection. Mostly in women, we see, oh, what if they have this gender bias? What if they have the gender bias? What if they reject me in workplace? So better I do it first. Better I reject it. I reject them. Is how an outcast behaves. Unknowingly. Let me show my authority. Let me reject them initially before they do that. Right? we just tend to, mostly this we observe in women. The self-doubter is not very sure. I'm not very sure. What if I cannot do that? What if I go wrong? So this fear is a stumbling block for the self-doubters. There is an inherent fear of not being capable. They doubt their own capacities. So better I sit in my comfort zone. And not take risk. They fear taking risk. So that is an outcast. So authoritative. As in the case of an outcast, is my internet connection okay? Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me, Dr. Alamu?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So outwardly, they might look fearless, while on the inside, they carry a lot of fear. We also find excuse makers all around. Oh, I'm so sorry, I'll not be able to do this. They find some excuse. You see, it's so hot today. It's so cool. So I will not be able to do this. They find some sort of lame excuse to go ahead with the job. Why is it? They fear change. Because they have to put in a lot of effort to accept change. So, okay, let me be happy with this way. Find some excuse, just get away from there. And there is also a fear of failure, of not being able to do it. And then pessimist, this will not go ahead. No, this cannot happen at all. Why? They expect the worst in every situation. And the other important fear, we can see it always being on guard. Always you're alert. Always on alert. I also had this problem. because I had to defend everybody, because I thought all this is my problem. Everybody's problem is mine. So I was always on alert. What if something happens to all my people also? So that takes away a lot of energy. That fear of always being on guard, always being alert. So I used to think I was uh, very careful with situations, with people, with the environment and things like that. But that would eat away all our energies. That is actually not necessary. When we realize that it is not necessary to be on guard always and be more open to changing situations, not necessarily being very calculative. So most these corporate cultures, they expect us to be very alert, very calculative all the time, and they're termed as like categorized as very active, very smart, very dynamic, things like that. It is not necessary. We can be a little laid back also. So these are some of the archetypes. And how does this fear take on our body? Mostly it takes the form of a disease. We are diseased mostly. How? When you feel that you are not unsupported, you are unsupported by your family, you get pain in the upper back. Other is one Mr. Louis Hay. He has done a lot of research on the emotions people carry and the diseases that happen to human beings. When you feel financially unstable, the low back pains. So by knowing the area which is complaining, we can know our problem. Like it's a sort of reverse engineering, wherein knowing the pain, you just can go back and look at the research done by Louis Hay, where he says, if somebody is disrespecting you, you get stomach pain. They're not in our control. So again, our ego is attached to the solar plexus or the Manipura chakra. So we get stomach pain there. It's very interesting. When you are very angry or you control your anger, we get pain in the throat. Pain in the throat when you're very, very much full of anger and you repress that. You control or you suppress that. Hair loss and all, when you don't feel enough strength, when you're tensed, your hair is lost. Ear pain, when you're not ready to hear anything that you don't want to. You don't want to hear that. So your ear starts paining. See how beautiful it is, no? The reflexes, so interesting. It was very interesting. This session actually gave me an opportunity to look into these aspects also as I try to create some awareness. When we hold on to some grudges, tumors develop. We get tumors when we hold on to some grudges. These days, we find most people affected with kidney problems. It is because a change in life direction. You are not accepting the change in life direction. Or when you feel that your life is unstable, you fear instability. When you fear instability, your kidneys trouble. Kidneys get troubled. And then the mouth, ulcers and all. When you have a closed mind, you're not receptive to newer opinions. You get ulcers in your mouth because it is shut all the time. You're closed. It indicates your mind again. When you don't love yourself, your heart is in trouble. Before we love somebody else, it is necessary for us to love ourselves. The breast, when you mother a person too much, when you show motherly love to a person beyond limits, then your breast is in trouble. Legs, the most important parts of the legs. Feet, when we are not flexible with our life, you don't like the direction in which your life is going. Our feet pain a lot. And the knee pain is another important thing which most people have. The knee pain, when you think you're flowing against current, when you feel that you're carrying the whole burden on you, and you're so stubborn with ego and pride, you don't want to change your direction of life, and you feel that there are many changes around going on which are not in your control. Basically, see, knee is it takes us forward, right? It takes us forward in our journey. It means walking for us, but actually it relates to life, the direction of life also. Basically, it is the stubbornness or rejecting to accept a change in direction. You don't want that. This is how I've designed my life, and it has to go in this way. When you stick on to that thing, then we have a pain in the knee. Again, there is a difference in the left knee and right knee also. The left knee, when you feel insecure, when you're very insecure, your left knee pains. And the right knee, who are you to tell me? I will not accept your authority. This is my life. I will choose the way it has to go. Not giving up to authority, then your right knee pains. So these are some of the many more, I was so surprised to know about the hand actually. Hand actually connects people. There is a pain in the hand when you fear, again, not exactly when a connection is broken. You fear that the connection breaks, right? These are all fears, irrational or rational. Sometimes we may have a reason for that. Sometimes we don't have a reason. What if again? So we get stuck up in what if this connection breaks? Then our hand pains, because this connects people, this coordinates people. Neck pain, this is most important thing. I think most of the software people, they have this. They think it is because of the constant or long sitting hours that we have this neck pain. No. It is when you're not able to forgive yourself. You know what you have done. I know what I've done. Nobody else knows, but we carry that. When we think that is not right, and we are not able to forgive ourselves, or we are not able to forgive some other person for having done this. How could he or she have done that to me? I was so genuine, I was so honest. How could they do it to me? I can never forgive you. So I can never do that. We hold it here. We hold it here in our neck. So the best way to move forward, I will forgive you, but I will not forget, is another big trouble. How can you forgive and not forget that? It is as good as not forgiving. Forgiving once for all is erasing it. When you only erase that, you can forgive and forget also. So This is how our body tells us, this is your fear. This is your fear. It talks to us all the time. It talks to us all the time. Only thing is we have to wait a minute, listen to it. Listen to it, make the necessary corrections. And now, you would have all heard about koshas, and bodies. We are not one. So we would like to explore where we hide all these. Where in this body is all this hidden? Right? You have a beautiful house, you have a big garden, or you have a lavish living room, a beautiful dining hall, a much comfortable bedroom. There is also a locker inside where we hide all our valuables. Right? I'm just trying to compare it with the house we have. In the same way, we have also a house where we have many bodies, but not one. I'm not showing you any pictures which are all available on the internet and books. I'm not showing you intentionally because I want you to visualize your own body in the way you like, in the way you can see with your inner vision. So intentionally, I'm not showing you all those pictures. Just as you listen to me, close your eyes and try to imagine, try to visualize the aspects which I'll be telling you. We have seen how fear looks like to ourselves, to those outside seeing us. And now we are trying to see where it is planted or where it is hidden so that we can do something to that, right? You have heard about koshas, right? Pancha koshas. Pancha is 5, kosha is layers. There is a lot of confusion in the spiritual community about koshas and bodies. There is a confusion, like as and when I try to talk to people, they find difficulty in differentiate, not all, some. So I thought I would explain and throw some light here. Not all. And it is right, to dispel darkness, we need to throw some light. Otherwise, it is hidden in the caves. You throw some light, it's gone. The darkness is gone. So when we analyze and understand, throw light on where exactly it is, that is gone. That fear is gone. So to know where it is hidden, we need to know what we are made up of. Right? The physical body, which we can see. Physical body, which we can see. It could be related to the Anandamaya Kosha. Annamaya, that which lives on food. That which everybody can see. That which everybody can see. The first layer. The first layer can be called as the Annamaya Kosha, or the physical body which everybody can see. There is an Upanishad called Taittiriya Upanishad. They are the authentic scriptures for us. Upanishads make it easy for us to understand. When we say Vedas, people get frightened. I don't know Sanskrit, I don't know that. This Upanishads make it easy for us. So based on the Taittiriya Upanishad, we should not discard the knowledge given by the saints, sages, because they have been, the name might be different. Today we might call them spiritual scientists. That is the modern name. Those days, it could have been a sage, a saint, but the work they have been doing is the same. It is the same work. They have been looking inward. They have been looking inside. And there is also a sort of exclusive research being done. Exclusive in the sense only meditation is sufficient, or only bhakti marga is sufficient, or you see, Lord Krishna has given us many paths to come here, to come to US. I can take a ship, I can take a plane, whatever. There are different methods of reaching the goal. Bhakti yoga, karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. There are many paths. We should be open to get information regarding various methods and then integrate it. Why integrate? I will tell you. So we were talking about the outermost sheath or outermost layer, which is called the Annamaya Kosha. This is basically made of the earth element. So you see, humans are made up of 5 elements: earth, water, space, air, water. Is it not? This physical body is basically grass, the grass body we say. Annamaya Kosha. Bodies I'll touch upon again, right? Annamaya Kosha is made up of the earth element. And this could be kept disease free by resorting to Hatha Yoga, by adopting Hatha Yoga techniques. The normal physical yoga that we do. You can keep your physical body in proper care by adopting Hatha Yoga techniques. Sorry. The second kosha is the Pranamaya Kosha, the second layer. Simply understand that a kosha is a layer. The second layer is basically Vayu. It is made up of Vayu or Prana. That we can see is gross, that which we cannot see is subtle. Subtle, right? That which we cannot see with our physical eyes is a subtle one. So the second layer is Pranamaya Kosha. This Pranamaya Kosha has 5 Vayus in that. 5 Vayus in that. When it's somebody who does puja, Om Pranaya Swaha, Panaya Swaha, Apanaya Swaha, Udayanaya Swaha, Samanaya Swaha, they say while doing puja. There are 5 types of Vayus or air. It means that these 5 had different functions to do. Different functions in the sense, one takes care of the upper part of the body, one takes care of the excretion, one takes care of the metabolism, things like that. It is made up of basically 5, it has 5 functions, we can say. So these 5 designated Vayus are the 5 Vayus, which I've said. So this basically has that cosmic energy. It is full of cosmic energy. You can recharge the second layer with cosmic energy. This is also called as the etheric sheath. Ether is a Western word again. Actual Upanishad word is Pranamaya Kosha. But the Western equivalent I can say is etheric sheath, you can say, right? You know, there is a double to that. The etheric double, we say. That is what most people talk about, the astral body. Astral travel, astral body. People talk about that. That is also clinging to the second sheath. The second sheath, which is the Pranamaya Kosha, has a twin to it. The twin is the astral body. What makes it astral? The physical body, if I have to come to your place, I have to drag this body against gravitation, I have to come to your place, right? The etheric body works against gravity. It can work against gravity. I can just be there in a flip of a second. What it takes to be there, it is just total wish. Total wish. What do I mean by totality? Totality is having no doubt. That becomes willpower. So when we can exercise our willpower and we can move the astral body, it's total wish. That is just like a vapor. It's like a thick vapor. I just want you all to travel inside. So there is a physical body. This physical body has an outside. There will also be a physical body inside of the physical body. Any object has an outside and inside, right? There is an outside and inside. The physical body also has an outside and inside. I want you all to go inside. There is the etheric sheath. Etheric sheath, which is very thick, vapor-like. Go further inside. It also has an inside, right? Go inside that. There it has its twin, the astral body, which is not as thick as this. It is transparent. Go inside. Go inside the astral body. Just travel inside. Just as we come from the garden into the living room, right? Garden is your physical body. You have come into the first, or you see a temple. If you have seen some beautiful temples in South India, there are things called prakaras. Prakaras are boundaries. Prakaras are boundaries. So go into from the first boundary, enter the second boundary. The second boundary is your second space, second inner space. There is outer first compound wall. There is a second compound wall, like they're called prakaras. Enter the second space. That second space is your etheric body. The etheric body has a double. That double is called the astral body or the astral sheath. For convenience, let us call it as astral sheath. Etheric or Pranamaya Kosha, Pranamaya sheath. Sheath is nothing but the layer. And it is here in this astral sheath that all the desires are rooted. You know, it enjoys all the cosmic energy which is available in the immediate vicinity. And it acts on the physical body. Because the first sheath is the physical sheath. The second sheath is the etheric sheath. The etheric double or the etheric twin, the astral sheath or the astral body. It takes all the cosmic energy, it takes advantage of that. It has all the desires planted in that, and it acts on the physical body. It instigates the physical body. That is about the second sheath. So these sheaths are not independent. They are interdependent. They are permeable. Permeable in the sense the quality of this sheath reflects in the other one. The quality of the second sheath reflects in the first one. Now the third one is the most important sheath, that is the Manomaya Kosha, that commonly people refer to as the mental body and things like that. For convenience, let us call it as the mental sheath. Once you understand, I'm so sorry, it's raining outside here. Once we understand the concept of sheaths, then I'll talk about bodies, right? The third sheath or the third kosha is the Manomaya Kosha. The first kosha, it is integrated to the Mooladhara Chakra. So all the insecurities, fears and all, it is the physical body is connected to that. Physical sheath is connected to that. The second one I was talking about, Etheric Sheath or the Pranamaya Kosha, is connected to the second chakra from the bottom, the Swadhisthana. So the space or the layer between Swadhisthana chakra and Manipura chakra is to be considered as the Pranamaya Kosha. The first kosha, the space between the first two chakras. The second sheath is the space between second and third chakras. The third sheath is the space between third and fourth. That is how you have to progress. So we are at the level of, what is the third and fourth? Manipura and Anahata. Just progress from the bottom to top. Between 1 and 2 is the first sheath, 2 and 3 is the second sheath, 3 and 4 is the third sheath. Like that you have to progress. So we are talking about the Manomaya Kosha, which is the mind layer. Mind layer, this is where thoughts are triggered. Thoughts are triggered. What happened when you have a thought? It becomes a feeling. Then it comes into action. Action becomes a habit. And then habit becomes your personality. That becomes your karma again. So ultimately, I want you to take you all to the level of karma or the karmic responses, how they become. And at this point, I would like to mention or I would like to offer my salutations to Jagadguru Adi Shankaracharya, who says in his Nirvana Shatakam, you would have heard of Nirvana Shatakam or Atma Shatakam. Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham. Mana buddhi ahamkara chitta. I'm not all these, he says. Manasu, buddhi, chittam and ahankaram. I'm not all these, he says. As a child, 80-year-old child, his guru asks him, who are you? He says, I'm not all these. For a young boy aged 8 years, probably he's come onto this earth only to enlighten us and because we cannot relate unless we see a human being, right? So probably he's come to explain these things to us. There's nothing else left for him, probably. So he is talking about manas, mano, buddhi, ahankaram, chittam. He talks about 4 aspects. And where are these? That is what I'm trying to drive you to. Manas. This is in this Manomaya Kosha. And next layer is your intellectual layer, Vijnanamaya Kosha. Before I go to that, in Manomaya Kosha, did I tell you about the Pranamaya Kosha, that it is basically like water? It is made up of the water element. Why water? Because it flows. The cosmic energy flows. So it can be represented, the 5 elements, out of the 5 elements, the first sheath can be related to Prithvi Tattva, earth element. The second sheath can be related to the water element because it is flowing. Not exactly water, because it is flowing. The flow can be simulated to the water element. Now comes the third Manas, Manomaya Kosha, the third sheath, which is the which is between 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4 chakras, between the 3 and 4 chakras, the space. Now, what does this carry? What does this look like? What can it be related to? It can be related to the fire element. Na manaslo bhaggumandi we say. It's just like fire, right? In Telugu we say, it's just like fire. It got fire, we say. So it can be related to the fire element. The Vedantic philosophy, it says, Manah Matra Jagat. Manah Matra Jagat. The whole world exists here in your mind. Manah Matra Jagat. Simple. You don't have to look where a fear resides. The whole world is here. It means undoubtedly our fears are here. The Vedantic philosophy is so wonderful, very simple, with very simple explanations. It takes us to where we have to reach. So you would have known the various yogic techniques: dhyana, dharana, samadhi, yama niyama, pratyahara. Dhyana, dharana, samadhi, all those Ashtanga yoga. In that, pratyahara and dharana will help us. There is no one technique to cleanse the layer or to clean the layer. For cleansing, there is no single technique. There are so many techniques, whichever suits the person, one can adopt that particular method. Pratyahara is nothing but withdrawal of senses, which might be a little difficult. The 5 senses you have to withdraw, that might be a little difficult. Dharana is one-pointed concentration. You become that. You see something, you see that object, and you become that object. That is dharana. These techniques will help you clean the Manomaya Kosha. So I told you about Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha. Next comes the Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha. In Telugu we say, Buddhi leda antam. Buddhi leda. Don't you have sense? We say. It has the power of discretion. The next sheath, or the Vijnanamaya Kosha, has the power of discretion. It knows what is good, what is bad. So that is the, which layer is that? The 4th layer. 4th layer. So I can say that we are going closer and closer towards the vault where we have hidden all the valuables. From the living room to the dining room and to the next compound. You have crossed the next compound, and we are going closer and closer towards a secret locker which we have never opened. And then I all the time would be referring to Adi Shankaracharya because I will die for him. For his analysis, I just die for him. And he says, I'm not Manas, I'm not Buddhi, I'm not Ahankaram, I'm not Chittam. I'll be telling you about Chittam. Then what are you? Who are you? What are you? Chidananda Rupam, Shivoham, Shivoham, he says. We need not be afraid to hear about the word Shiva for fear of getting stuck in some religious practices or something. He is referring to the ultimate consciousness, the supreme consciousness, the divine consciousness, that which is the absolute. Shivo Aham. You are that, he says. He says, Lord Shiva is not outside. It is you. It is within you. It is in the world, he says. Mano buddhya hankara chittani naham. Nacha shrotra jihve, nacha grana netre, he says. Nacha shrotra, the power of hearing. Nacha shrotra jihva, tasting. Nacha grana, sense of smelling. Netre, nacha grana netre. I'm not all these. Who are you? You are the absolute. You are the divine consciousness. You are the supreme consciousness. How does that look like? Blissful, joyful. There is no fear there, right? From a place of fear, where all the fear is rooted, we are going into the world where there is no fear. There is only joy. Where is that space? Where is that world? It is inside you. And there are also many Vedantic techniques to reach that place. Knowing is one thing. Being is one thing, the next thing. Becoming is the next, the ultimate thing. So as we move from the Pranamaya Kosha, Annamaya Kosha, into Pranamaya Kosha, into Manomaya Kosha, into Vijnanamaya Kosha. Vijnanamaya Kosha. The Manomaya Kosha can also be cleansed with meditation. With meditation, you can clean that to a certain degree. Next is the Vijnanamaya Kosha, where there is inner knowledge, there is wisdom. Here also, dhyana will be helpful. Adi Shankaracharya was also talking about consciousness, mana, buddhi, ahankara. Where is this ahankaram? Ahankaram is also in the mind. Ahankaram. He talks about chittam. That was something, I could not relate to. I could not relate to chittam. So please caution me just 10 minutes before when I have to wind up, because I'll go on. I get lost. How much time do we have, Dr. Ravali?
Ma'am, just go forward, and yeah, if people are going to just continue, then it's fine, but you just complete what you wanted to convey to the people. So
is that
we would like to listen. Thank you.
Okay, that's fine. Ahamkaram, then comes chittam. Chittam is like, in a flight, there is a black box, there is a memory box, right? There is a memory box where in case of any flight accidents, they recover the black box and they find what is hidden in that, what is recorded in that. Chittam is that. Chittam is that consciousness, we say, where all the recording, all the memories are recorded and hidden there. That is the chittam. And Adi Shankaracharya says, I'm not this also. I'm not the memory also. Where do we get this memory from? There we might have questions. Is it from this birth or the previous births? How could Shankara speak such ultimate philosophy at 8 years? It is from his chittam. It is from his consciousness, from his recordings, he could speak all that. In the same way, all of us carry our own recordings in the chittam. And then there is something called buddhi karmanusarini, they say. That I'm trying to link various sayings with the actual functioning of our body. So we say we have some intellect, right? Again, that intellect is triggered by our past karmas. So if we have to suffer a particular thing, In that direction, our intellect works. Is it clear? The same situation could be handled by different people in different ways. It is because the intellect is triggered by the recorded karma, which has to take you through that suffering. That karma could be a positive karma or a negative karma, negative result, I can say. So what should we do? We should try to, so your fear again, it could be triggered repeatedly if you have to undergo some suffering. So chitta vritti antam. We say that chitta vritti. Vritti is a cycle. Vrittamu is a circle. Chitta vrittamu. There in the consciousness, repetitive thoughts are triggered in a direction where it has to take you through your karmic truths. So what should we do? Chitta vritti nirodhamu. Nirodhamu is stopping it. Stopping ourselves from repetitive thinking is what we must look at. How? How? As I'm not looking at the chat because I might get I may get out of my track, so I'm not looking at the chat. Please forgive me for that. Then I was talking about traveling inwards from Annamaya Kosha through Pranamaya Kosha through Manomaya Kosha to Vijnanamaya Kosha and further inside. These 4 sheaths can be compared to horizontal movement. From one room into the other room. Okay, it could be compared like that. Why I'm being specific is most people, they talk about the opening of the 3rd chakra. 3rd chakra is like accessing this chakra is like taking a lift or an elevator to the next floor. Only when you have cleansed all these 4 sheaths, these 4 sheaths are complete. Only then you become eligible to reach the next floor. Only when you have walked through all these rooms in the ground floor, you can reach the next floor. What happens? No, my guru said I can activate my 3rd chakra. No, I can do it. You will be a split personality. If without cleaning these sheaths, if we try to attempt and reach this chakra, we will be a split personality. You'll be nowhere. You'll behave in a peculiar way. You don't belong to any place like that. So what should we do? Should we consciously set some spiritual targets? And again, there is a fear of not being able to reach that. Is it not? When we set targets, like in economy, we have some targets, right? We have some targets to reach a particular level of business and all. This is not a business. In spirituality, you should not rush, nor you should not set any targets. You should not set any targets. It happens. When you set targets again, there is the fear of not being able to reach that level. So all that we have to do is just relax and try to do what we can do for the physical body. Try to do what we can for the Pranamaya Kosha. Absorb as much cosmic energy you can. Eat sattvic food. Keep your body clean. And use your body. Don't abuse it. Manomaya Kosha, take lots of cosmic energy. Pranamaya Kosha, you take lots of cosmic energy. Do lots of dhyana. And keep your chittam. Chittam has to be, the memory box has to be kept clean again. How do we do that? If you don't clean your chittam, again, these fears which are in the Manomaya Kosha could be triggered again and again. They could be triggered. So you have to reach the basic level. We have still not reached the world. In the world is our soul, the Atma. So there is much more journey to be performed to reach the soul. And also, they say, I was mentioning Lord Krishna teaching us many paths. The Hatha Yogam will help the physical body. And then there is Mantra Yogam. Mantra Yogam is chanting the energy syllables. Sound is such a thing. You can use it for constructive or destructive purposes. Using energy syllables, we can also clean the Pranamaya Kosha. There is the Bhakti Margam, Bhakti Yogam. Bhakti Yogam will also remove the fears. It can help in cleaning the Manomaya Kosha. And then there is something called the Raja Yoga, right? Raja Yoga will help in the power of discernment. It will help us clean the Vijnanamaya Kosha. And the last one is the Anandamaya Kosha. Some people say there are 5 koshas. Some people say there are 7. But Pancha Koshas is mentioned in the Upanishads. So we will stick to that. For people who are further interested in the other 2 koshas, they call Sat, Chit, Anand. There we find the lead. There we find the secret key to understand what lies ahead. Beyond what? Usual human mind, it goes on exploring. It says, okay, first you finish these 4 layers. No. What next? What is there ahead is what we are interested in. So the next is Sat, Chit, Anand. Sat is truth. Chit is the consciousness again. Anand is bliss. So bliss. That lies above our throat chakra. Anandamaya Kosha is above the throat chakra. All humans, the so-called humans, can never cross the throat chakra. Most of them can never cross. But those who wanted to explain to us, like Lord Krishna, Jesus, Buddha, they are superhumans. They are born in a human form, but they have crossed this chakra and they could become bliss. We know that there is bliss. We have the knowledge. We have 2 more steps to go. We have to be bliss and then become bliss. That is the next 2 layers. So that is about the koshas. I'll just brief about the bodies and I'll close this session because it's sleep time for most of you there. There is the soul. Around the soul, you have the causal body. Causal body. We say for every event that happens here, Karya Karana Sambandham, we say. For every Karyam. Cause and effect theory. For every effect, there should be a cause. That cause, we say, is our karma. That is there in the causal body, which just the vault I was speaking of is where the soul is there. The next boundary is the causal body. Causal body where the reason for all these happenings or for a birth, for a death is there. The next body is the causal body. And around that is the subtle body. Subtle body is that which we cannot see. Around that is the gross body. So some other time when we get an opportunity, maybe we can talk about how to access the soul or how to get rid of all these layers outside and become one with the soul. And inside the soul is the ultimate one. Then you can call it by any name, call it God, call it ultimate, call it divine consciousness, call it ultimate bliss. There is a point within us. So sometime if we get to talk to you all, they will just see how Vedanta or the yogic techniques help us to take us further deep inside. And by now, I think you have a little idea about where your fears are rooted and how to overcome them. How to overcome them is by two methods. One is flooding. Do it number of times. Do it, do it, do it. Expose yourself until you are no more in connect with that fear. That is one very important technique. And you can chant Om. Om is a syllable which is about 400 hertz. That is the frequency with which the whole universe or most of the things in the universe vibrate. When we chant that syllable, not outwardly, you can chant inwardly, all your system will start vibrating with a higher frequency. And where is the lower frequency? It is gone. You don't have to address that anymore because that will come into picture only at 100 hertz. So when you start vibrating at 400 hertz, that is gone. So the many more methods, I think I'll just close here. Dr. Ravali.
Yeah. Thank you, Rajalakshmi ma'am. It was a wonderful session. Beautifully said on Panchakoshas. Understanding fear is something which is very, very important because if you don't understand what type of fear and where is it coming, we can't address it. I think that's beautifully said, ma'am. Yeah. Masters, any questions with respect to fear, anything on today's topic, please do address. Yeah, Parmeshwaran, sir.
Before
Namaste,
questions.
Sir. Yeah, namaste, sir. I could meet you in Vizag if I'm right. I have visited, all of us have visited the pyramid, Kamarshi pyramid. I don't know if you remember. I think I've met you. Yeah, please go ahead, sir. Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Yeah, namaskaram.
First of all, my pranams to you. You have given us a beautiful, sumptuous breakfast.
Oh, thank you. I'm elated.
I'm in India, morning. So I just had a cup of coffee, and after that, I just sat 1.5 hours gone and fully.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful.
So blissful,
to know,
to be frank with you. And you have talked about whatever little bit I've been talking in maybe 10 or more sessions, as Ravali knows the count, I don't know, the last 2 years through this spiritual.
That's wonderful.
You are touched upon and you are explained in a beautiful way. So, which I wondered because you are an engineer. When I saw posting, I thought doctor means I was thinking like Ravali.
No. I can give medicines. Yeah.
And my master, Dr. Nagendra ji from Vivekananda Kendra, is a spiritual scientist, is engineer. So I heard many things from him and little bit what I have learned in the past 2 decades or so. So I tried to explain and give to friends around, spending the energy, not simply storing for a good cause. So you have put everything and Upanishadic wisdom. So as you said, I am also a fan of Swami Vivekananda, Adi Shankaracharya, Patanjali, and whatnot. Sugandhim Pushti Vardhanam. It is happening right now here just by listening here. And you took us to the Panchakosha Viveka, Etheric Upanishad.
Yes, sir.
And I am so fond of Patanjali, the father of yoga. I've been teaching yoga.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah.
And I am feel so blessed.
Sir.
And today I become your fan.
Oh, no, I'm just happy if I'm useful to any one of you at least. Yeah. No, actually, I'm in a state where I no longer want to talk. I feel like being alone, but Ashok won't leave me. He said, no, you have to come out. Like this is a state where, I just don't want to speak. I want to be alone. I want to be, no, it's not depression or anything like that. I would like to be, I would like to enjoy for myself. Yeah. So,
I was also similarly 2 years back, when the pandemic came, I was more or less in that, okay, keeping quiet, enjoying myself. Then just by chance, people say, but it is a divine plan. I got connected with Ashok, then 2 years I am here. And Ashok knows better. I have no words to say. If I talk again, time will go. I want people to clarify their doubts. Thank you very much. I wish you come again and again in this platform. That's all I will say. You are putting it so aptly, everything in a nutshell. Thank you. Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. Tadastu.
Thank you, sir. Blessings from you is really valuable for me, sir. It's very valuable.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ravi sir.
Hello, Rajalakshmi ma'am. Thank you. So,
hello, sir.
Fellow
Hello.
SRR alumni here. So,
Where did Ashok take me?
Recollection, I'm 1 year senior to you. I'm 84, 88.
I used to do a lot of running around, sir.
Oh, okay. But somehow you escaped my eyes. I never seen you.
I was
but
so
you know, this now it's great that now we became a soul family, better connection than that. And what a beautiful narration of fears and how to overcome those and all panchakoshas and everything. So my wife was sitting next to me and telling that Parameswaran sir will be very, very excited, and he already came for his excitement. And you know, it's great that you came to this platform and sharing your wisdom, and we hope to see you many more times. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. No questions from you? No questions?
No, it's a
you
more,
say,
comment. You know, like more than a question, comment. You know, I used to talk to a lot of people, call everybody. Nowadays, I'm in my own trance. I want to enjoy my time. You know, like not talking to a lot of other people and stuff like that. So nowhere have the knowledge that you have, but you know, getting there and trying to enjoy the bliss of.
Yes, please go. Please go.
No, having bliss of, like, you know, being quiet and mauna, silence. You know, I'll practicing that and that kind of stuff. So just a baby steps there, but I can see some fruits.
That's good. That's good. I was telling Ashok, you know, when the student is ready, the master comes to him or her.
Right.
Is what I believe in. That's what happened to me. The master, he just walked to me. Once I saw him, the 1,000 questions I had are just gone. One answer to every question. So I was telling Ashok, oh, why should I come and talk? You know, when somebody deserve or their master will come to them, is what I was telling him. He was telling me, Ani dachesko. You don't talk to people. And he just pulled me out of my comfort zone, right?
Right. He's master of Ashok sir is master in pulling everyone into this, and he's doing great job, great service to all of us on this platform and others. So a lot of gratitude to him, even though he's my junior in this spiritual thing. He's my spiritual father.
So he's doing good work. He's doing very good
he's
work.
Doing great.
Not easy to, you know, garland all people, make a garland out of all people, and just try to cater to their spiritual needs. It's not easy. Not easy.
Right. So
he's on a Herculean task.
Yeah. Only one thing I want to say about fear is, as you said, if you don't have any expectations, you don't expect anything tomorrow or day after, and when you're going to die and all, most of the fears.
No, actually, I would like to add a little to that.
Okay.
Most of the fears are rooted in our attachments.
Yeah.
And being in future. Attachment to life.
Right.
Attachment to life.
Our life and our kids and our parents.
Anywhere you can zero in, and you can find out like where you are attached to. Fear of death is attachment to life again.
Right.
Attachment to life again. So when we understand where we are attached to, we can try to come out of that.
Yeah. I mean, we call this Arshad Vargas, you know, where we talk about the desires, attachment, anger, all those things.
Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya.
Right. All those are, you know.
No, all these desires, the desires manifest in these forms again.
Right.
The desires we have in the astral body, they manifest as these Arshad Vargas again.
Yeah.
So So some other time we'll talk on those also.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Please come more often, and you have
Rajalakshmi madam, you are already committed, so
bundles
please
of
Oh my God.
make sure that when you are
Seriously.
talking very impeccably, and when you actually say something, then Ashok is going to be back to those.
I mean,
So you are already
Thanks,
committed for the
thanks,
next class. Thank you.
Oh, thank
I
you.
don't think you are doing it for first time. The way you took this class, I think you're like seasoned or veteran
Like
campaign.
I didn't want to be one, because I that's again a fear of getting lost in talking.
Right. So
Because
you're talking about fear, and you have to eliminate
and
this
I have
fear,
the
and
fear
more
of getting
Sajjana
lost.
Sangatya for us.
Fear of getting lost in like talking all the time, and finding less time for our self-work.
As Nike says, let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Ravi. Thank you.
Yeah, Vinda ma'am, please.
Thank you, Rajalakshmi garu. Beautiful session. And like you said, I have to thank Ashok sir. I don't know how you find these gems, Ashok sir, and bring for us. We have to just be under you, and you will guide us through this path, through these masters. A fear topic is all of us have, whether we know it or not. And when I started this meditation journey, it's been a few years, maybe 2 serious years, but before that, we start with fear, and I had to do, like, being rooted to the Mother Earth and everything, rooting and all that, slowly overcame that. And I know there are more fears, and fear of attachment, and you explain the flow. First of all, the way you talk is, you flew in such an easy way. You started with explaining fear, you started with explaining koshas and types of fears, first of all, and the archetypes. And you even said, like, what it is, which attachment causes what fear. And it felt so logical the way you said. So I think I connected more. I have heard most of these in other classes separately, but you put it all like a garland together, how defined it, explained different types, and how we can cleanse it too. And you brought in the, all the Upanishads and everything. You connected so well. I think you are saying, I can understand your thing of not trying to talk and explain, but it's so easy to listen to you. So please share your knowledge. It's a service you're doing. And again, so thank you to Ashok sir for bringing you. And you, like, even before, I understood you have to cross each chakra to go up, but the way you put it made more sense. Like, I used to think, everyone says meditate. And then I started also, when I meditated, they said focus on third eye. And I couldn't. It was like, too much for me. And then I realized maybe I have to start from lower, and then started connecting. And now when you said, that split personality, other things you explained so well. If you are really, third eye open, then you're confused whether you're really enlightened or you're really not, because you're switching between both. And being, understanding with yourself, and basically accepting yourself where you are, what level is good. There's no competition. It's like you said, take your time. There's no competition in spirituality. The time will come. And so I think that helps our patient. And you said, like, fear of not being able to reach that level or whatever, those things may be there, so to remove them. And how beautifully you said, light removes darkness. Basically, knowledge removes fear. That's exactly what you're saying, right? That light and darkness is fear. So just keep gaining. So again, Patri says 3 things, dhyana, swadhyaya, and then doing this meditation, and reading, and being with people like you and listening. I think that's what I should be happy. That's my solution to cleanse these levels and then reach. So you've given me confidence in what I'm doing is already, like, I'm on the path. So, and again, Ashok sir will make sure that we will get more and more knowledge. So I'm happy. Thank you.
Delighted to listen to you. That's what I wish. Knowing or identifying is our fear is one aspect. Acknowledging it, because our ego comes in the way. It will not say no, all that is trash. So it's important to acknowledge, and only then we'll be able to do something.
Yeah, and you have a very,
very
interesting way of saying, you know, how to go to the vault where the treasure is, the bliss is there. And of course, Nirvana Shatakam is beautiful, explained very beautifully by Adi Shankaracharya.
I would like to talk exclusively on Nirvana Shatakam. You know, that is one answer for all questions. One answer for all questions. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Beautiful. Thank you, Ashok sir.
Thank you. Yes, Srivalli ma'am.
Yeah, Rajalakshmi ma'am, such a beautiful session. Actually, for past 1 week, I was going through a lot of fear. I don't know. This topic is for me. I think Ashok sir has got you, and you have chosen this one. And when you were telling about this koshas, I was doing my meditation, and I could feel that. Thank you. And you said you will talk about Nirvana Shatakam. Please come up with that one. Waiting for that. I would like to have.
Rajalakshmi madam, commit on that too. Please say yes.
Please.
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was wonderful session.
No, as I talk to you, I'll be reinforcing my fundamentals. No? I'm being a little selfish too. Because I'll get to know deeper. I'll get to know Adi Shankara deeper.
Yeah.
I will also tell you some experiences, some visions I had with Adi Shankaracharya, and how he has enlightened me with that Nirvana Shatakam. I will also tell you sometime.
So nice. Yeah,
Thank
sure.
you.
Please.
Thank you.
We'll be waiting for that session.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ashok sir. Thank you so much for bringing her. Thanks.
Okay, and so here I just wanted to say one thing to all of you, that I always used to talk about how you identify time for yourself. That is something that what has been taught by Rajalakshmi ma'am to me. When I came into spirituality, when I told her that I've been going through this path, she was stunned and thrilled, and she asked me only one thing: Ashok, are you really in this path? Yes. So we talked about that, and she told me that how to identify time in a day to really spend with yourself. And that is the lesson which I've been going through and teaching everyone in every session, beginning of the sessions, how you identify your time towards spending to yourself. And then she is the one who taught me about going and identifying all your situations in your life. And she asked me one day, next few days, you are going to be given a homework, because she is a teacher, no? So she gave me a homework saying that, you go through 5 to 10 years and 10 to 15, 15 to 20, like that, until to your age, and identify all the situations that you went through. And in the drama, you identify all the characters. That's where you are going to apply your forgiveness and gratitude. And that is application, because she is my mentor and a teacher for all that stuff, which I've been telling that to everyone, and so much of gratitude for that, Rajalakshmi, for teaching me all that. And thank you. Yeah. So
a pleasure always.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for me to say my gratitude to you, and thank you very much.
You are a part of my childhood. We have grown together. You have been my brother all through. Anything for you.
Thank you. Lakshmi ma'am.
Thank you, Ashok sir, and thank you, Rajalakshmi ma'am. Wonderful session. We have heard many a times all these words and understanding, but wonderful correlations of these at a fear level, and definitely looking forward for how to overcome these fears, and a lot of heartfelt gratitude. You have come out of all this, your comfort level for us, and it means a lot to us. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Rajalakshmi ma'am, you can take up one day about Chaturvida Purusharthas, that can be another topic. Because always when we do homas and all that, they say Chadurvida, Purushartha Parasiddhyarthe, Jebe Vinyoga. They just say that's all. But how many of us know what it means? So that can be one day.
I have touched upon just all those various things a little, yeah.
Because in essence, what you are. Yeah, in essence, what you are talked is about biology of belief only, right? Today, what modern spiritual scientists talk.
Again, belief is something you don't know totally.
Yeah.
When you know it totally, there is no question of belief. It is only understanding. So
True.
when we say we believe something, it means that we have not understood it totally. So beliefs they take away the charm. Understanding retains that. So let us all together try to understand various things.
And one more thing is, I am happy that you did not use any slides. It has not become a slideshow.
Yeah.
I always say that when
because
slide is there, our focus is on.
Yeah. We lose that personal touch. That is why, and I wanted everybody to go inside, actually, in their own way, the way they like. Otherwise, these pictures start blocking their imagination or visualization.
And one more thing is, today I want to add one more fear. See how many of us have opened the camera now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is also a fear, right? Fear of losing your image.
Probably their sleep time.
I've been talking about this. Thank you.
We just woke up, sir. Others might be feeling sleepy. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Rajalakshmi madam, there is a one request, Master. Sometimes I struggle with disgust. Any time on how to overcome it? Any tips? It's in the chart.
One sec. Sometimes I struggle with disgust.
Yeah. Mohan Rupa ma'am, do you want to talk, or do you want to explain, or do you want to ask?
Yeah, please, ma'am. You can just elaborate on that.
She heard me, that's all. Open the camera. See only and Mohan.
Mohan Rupa ma'am. Hi. Hi. Yeah.
It's very beautiful. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah.
I struggle with disgust, like if I see like dog poop on the lawn or something, I feel very disgust. Then that pulls my vibrations down, and again I have to work on it. Like I have to come into oneness, and have to. I have to work on
compose yourself.
Yes. Yeah. So
this is as I was telling you, it is attachment to cleanliness. Your attachment to cleanliness. The one possibility is that you can be clean. That's right. That's it. You can't expect everybody else to be clean. There are many more possibilities, right? You are just clinging to one idea of being clean. That's it. But there are 101 ways and 1,000 people around who may not carry the same idea as that you are carrying, or that which you are attached to. So you should be more acceptable to other possibilities. You should keep telling yourself that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. This is my idea. So the other people might also as well have their own idea. So it's quite possible that the person otherwise he's comfortable. He's fine with the poo around, right? He's comfortable. He's clinging to that idea. He's not happy with the idea of being clean. So you should be more acceptable to the other possibilities.
I am fine. I don't have any negative thoughts on others, but I have to clean it. Then I have to do the work.
Yeah. You are very attached to that. You have to keep saying to yourself that it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be not clean. So it's like, there is a wonderful book called Uncluttering Your Lives. This adds to our clutter. Clutter is not only the things we have in our house. Clutter could also be an idea about cleanliness. That is also a clutter, because that is adding worry to you. As long as that doesn't create a burden on you, it is fine. Once that creates disgust, is a lower vibration, because that is creating a burden on you. When that is creating a burden on you, that has to be uprooted. That has to be taken off. So you have to work on yourself in that area. You should accept that even being clean, the idea of being clean is also a clutter. It adds to your clutter. That's okay. You be clean. You do your job. That's okay. They don't have expectations about others, because we cannot control others' attachments, right? They are attached to being unclean. So it's okay. You just be comfortable with yourself. Try to be that. That's what I do. At least that's what I do. Since there is a story about Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. One boy came to him saying that the mother brought the child, and the child is eating too many jalebis. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa asked him to come back after 1 week. So the mother took the child to Paramahamsa again, and then he said, "Babu, stop eating it." Then this lady asked him, "You could have told me this long back. I had to come so far, from so far." Then Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, "I was eating a lot of jalebi, so I had to control that first. Only then I become eligible to tell you." So I fought with this problem myself, and so I become eligible to tell you.
Thank you, ma'am. Yeah, I'll work on
you,
it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep, lovely, ma'am.
Yeah. Masters, any more questions for today?
All questions dissolved.
All dissolved. Yeah.
Dr. Ravali, ma'am, you were listening to it very, very keenly and all. It is nice. I also teach on the state television. So on the state television, we don't get to see our students. So all the time I look at the camera, and there my favorite student will come into that on the lens, and then I take off. But here I had the liberty of seeing my student who is very responding to whatever I was saying. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you, ma'am. The wisdom was so much that I had to listen. Complete.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.